Yeah, Kid Romeo, baby.
Kid Romeo in the house.
All right, man. Everybody, I'm going to introduce you to my good buddy. I've known Sam for 22 years, I guess. So this is Sam Roman, Kid Romeo from WCW, baby. Former WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions with Elix Skipper, right?
That'd be me.
Now, I got to tell you something quick about Sam. He always liked working me because I made him look like $1 million and I put him over.
That is true.
Isn't that right, Sammy?
You did.
Sweet.
That is true.
All right, Sammy, we're gonna get this show started, man. Like I said before, I told you I really don't have questions to ask you. I just want to talk about old times, and we'll talk about what you're doing today, and just let it flow wherever it goes, man. So you want to start out by introducing yourself to everybody and tell them your former part in WCW.
Well, my name is Sam Roman, aka Kid Romeo, former male dancer, former professional wrestler, current pest control, and wildlife trapper.
Awesome.
My part in WCW was I made history. First time ever Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions with my great partner, the great Elix Skipper.
And tell them who you beat to win them belts.
Oh, man. I mean, that to me is just worth, I can't even describe the words. I beat a goat.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely a goat.
He is the goat of the cruiserweights. Everybody knows that. There's nothing.
What's up, Annette? Thanks for joining us again.
Ain't nothing changing that. He is the champion, man. He's still going, man. It's unbelievable.
Tell people who you're talking about. Tell people who you're talking about in case they don't know.
Rey Mysterio.
That's right, and his partner was Billy Kidman, right?
That's right.
And you guys wrestled. It was at Greed pay-per-view, right? The last WCW pay-per-view.
That's right.
And it sucks that you guys won the belts on the last pay-per-view of the damn WCW ever.
That was a good match, man. You had a really good match. The only match that beat you was our match, but we had a whole bunch of people in our match, man. It was a good match.
Oh, I got to tell you, man, your match was awesome. When you got four workers like you, Elix Skipper, Billy Kidman, and Rey Mysterio, you guys couldn't have had a bad match if someone tied your hands together.
No, it was spectacular. Every time I look at that match, I'm like, man, that match is so different from nowadays. It was awesome.
That's still on YouTube, right? I watched it on YouTube not too long ago.
Oh yeah, no, it's on YouTube. It's out there. It's on the net. It's out there.
One of my followers, Annette, says, "Hey, Kid Romeo."
What up, Annette? What's going on?
All right, so you want to talk about the last pay-per-view? Now, when we were wrestling, I wasn't even booked for that show. Me and Easy Money wasn't even booked for that show. I just happened to be there, so they booked that match. Which now, looking back on, I'm so glad I was on the last pay-per-view. That meant a lot to me. But what did you think about that pay-per-view? And did you realize that was going to be the last WCW pay-per-view?
I heard rumors through the grapevine like you and stuff like that, so I was going in it concerned about it and stuff.
Now, what did you hear, though?
That the company might be going on hiatus, that the company might be bought. So either way, you don't know.
Well, you know what I heard.
You don't know where you stand.
Yeah, so I was with Ross Foreman. I don't know if you know the story. We went down to watch some baseball spring training, watch the St. Louis Cardinals and stuff, and talk to some guys that we were friends with. And then on our way down to Jacksonville, where the pay-per-view was, Kevin Nash calls Ross. So then, we're talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, Vince just bought the company," and we're like, holy shit. Like I instantly got nervous. I was like, shit, I was talking to him.
You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me because I only found out on the last show when they told us at the show.
Yeah.
And they changed. We were supposed to retain the belts, and then when they took over, they changed the script immediately. They flipped it on and gave it to them.
So did you take the belts and take them home with you?
No, that pissed me off. I took Elix Skipper. I said, Elix, let's fucking just stash them. And say a fan broke in the room and took it. Well, what's the worst they can do?
That would have been awesome. Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah,
So,
and of course, Elix, he's a goody goody. So I listened to him, hoping
well,
but
that's the best thing you
we
could
need
have
to
done.
get a rematch.
I'm the same way though. Karma comes around. So if you just stole them belts, something bad might have happened to you.
Well, fine. I just finally had replicas made because now
Oh,
I
dude.
get that, and then back here I got my Naga Championship belt and stuff. You know what that is, right?
Yeah. We can talk about that. It's a North American Gravel Association.
Yeah. There you go. And I had a pest control champion belt just being made just for Commando.
Awesome. So then back to that story with when Nash called us. So that leads us up to going to Nitro Nitro. That was at now was that Panama City, right? Or where was it?
Yes, the last Nitro.
Yeah, it was in Panama City, right?
On the beach.
So I wasn't on that card. I wasn't booked on. I was booked on the show, but I wasn't on in any match, or I wasn't involved in anything. But that was a real fun night. But I tell you, I don't know how you felt, but when I walked into the building, well, we parked, and then as soon as we walk in the building, I see like Pat Patterson, Jerry Briscoe. I saw Shane McMahon. I was like, holy shit! That's when it really hit me. Did you feel the same stuff, or how'd that work for you?
When they walked into the room we
didn't see him at the pay-per-view. They were at Nitro the next night.
Right. Yeah.
So what did you think when you saw all these people walking around and WWE was there?
We're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Monopoly?
Yeah, right.
The thing I thought, I'm like, oh man, now they control all wrestling.
Yeah, no shit, right?
So, that's like, if the AFC and NFC go together and then you skip on a couple of teams so I was one of the teams that I felt it. When he came by, me and Elix,
yeah.
Shane McMahon, he gave me one. What's up, guys? We're like,
yeah.
We're good. And then and Ray, yo, what's up, bro? I'm like, damn, man, what's up? No love,
right?
something like that. That's kind of how it went.
I try to explain to people that night when that happened, when you see Shane McMahon and stuff, and then you remember the meeting they had with us. I think it was in the catering when they called us all in there, and they were talking to us about everything. It was just a weird vibe, man. Nobody really knew what was going to happen, so nobody was really talking about it. Nobody wanted to say anything because nobody knew what the hell was going on. Did you
I was waiting hiatus. All I heard was hiatus. So it was a good hiatus, and then all of a sudden, when they walked in, it's been sold, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, and they really screwed up the whole deal, man. They could have made that the whole angle if they would have just let WCW be and let Shane run it and act like he really did take it over from his dad. And then, eventually we could go WWE and wrestle some of their guys. And you know what I mean? But they dropped the ball big time.
Real competition.
I think a lot of people agree that they dropped the ball, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes, I believe so. They could have run. They could have run a hell of an angle with that. A real angle in this business,
Yeah, right. But with the internet and stuff, it just wasn't happening. And I agree with Annette. She said, I don't think WWE had much. Where does it say?
No, they weren't interested in that.
I don't think WWE had much intention of keeping which probably meant everyone or everything, which I agree with. I totally agree with that. Because
yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay, that's going to lead up to our next discussion. Now, me and Mike Sanders, he lives in Atlanta, and we're still good buddies. So me and him were actually driving tow truck for his dad because we weren't doing nothing. We were just sitting around getting paid. So, he's like, hey, you want to work? Because I'm like a blue collar, man. I come from a middle-class family where I worked all my life. I'm not used to sitting around. I went to the gym and stuff, but I'm just like, I started getting flack from my wife, which you weren't married, so you don't know what that's all about. But so me and Mike was driving tow truck for his dad. Then I got a call one day from Johnny Ace saying I got good news and bad news. Did you get a similar call?
Oh, my God, Johnny Ace. Oof.
You got the same call, right?
How did it come? My call for what? For going up or the termination call?
No. For us going up because we went up to Cincinnati.
Oh, I think Jimmy called me.
Oh, Jimmy Hart called you?
I believe.
Well, how'd that conversation go? Because my conversation with you were better friends with Jimmy Hart than I was.
I was known as Jimmy's boy. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know,
and Arn.
Yeah, I was gonna let you say that. I wasn't gonna say that. Little ass kisser.
I was at Jimmy's boy and Arn.
So what did Jimmy? How'd that conversation go? You want to share that with us? With you and Jimmy?
He was like, hey baby, you know, talking in his voice and everything. I said, I got some good news, bad news. The good news is, you know, we sold out and everything. The good news is that they keeping your contract and stuff like that and everything, that you're going up there and stuff like that. So, you know, just keep doing your thing and blah, blah, blah. And that's when I was like, okay. And then they gave you a week to get out of your lease and everything, be out, and you have to be out there. They don't.
Right.
You have a lease. Do I have to pay extra and all that stuff? They didn't care about that. It's like
no. They don't. Hey, shout out to Piers Austin. He just said, "Hey boys, yeah, the boys." He's got a great podcast, Shooting the Shit with Piers Austin. That was the podcast I originally did, and then he asked me to do these because I got charisma, baby.
Charisma.
So, yeah, my conversation with Johnny Ace went about just like that, but he said, I got good news and bad news. The good news is the WWE picked your contract up. The bad news is you have 2 weeks to move to Cincinnati. And they pretty much said, we don't give a shit what your wife says or nothing. That's the way it's going to be.
I remember it was like a week. I know it was just a ridiculous amount of time. Like,
they probably told Jimmy Hart 2 weeks, but he probably waited a week to call you.
I don't know.
You heard that? Yeah, that's how the business works, man. They give Jimmy the call 2 weeks for that and said, hey, you got to give Kid Romeo 2 weeks. And he's like, oh, shit, wasn't I supposed to do something? And he called you a week later.
That's my luck.
Yeah, at least I had 2 weeks, right?
You had 2 weeks. I had 1 week.
So then we went right through the same miserable crap. Yeah, shout out to Preston Sanders, Mike Sanders' illegitimate kid. He's a great producer.
Oh, what's up? Sanders?
So then we had to go from what we're used to down at the power plant. We get on TV finally. We get out of the power plant. Now we got to go right back up to miserable, damn, almost like a power plant type atmosphere up at HWA. No knock on Les Thatcher at all, but you know, we're used to doing TV at this point. We're not, you know, we're out of the power plant. We used to get beat up in there every day, and now we're right back in the same damn place we were prior to getting on TV. So tell everybody how your experience was with that.
Well, it's nothing like the power plant. Nothing will ever be like the power plant. I don't think even nowadays it's like the power plant. You know,
no, nobody will ever know.
And back then, they didn't give a shit if you were 6'4" and like that, and you can everything. But if you didn't have heart, they run your ass out. You know that.
Oh yeah, I told everybody that on every show.
Now they market the guy and stuff. It don't matter if he has heart or not and everything, or especially if he has a pedigree from an export and stuff like that. Exactly. They got the rite of passage. No matter us, we didn't have that pedigree and everything, but we came in kicking ass.
Yeah,
and.
So you and Elix were sharing a apartment or a hotel or whatever down there in Cincinnati initially, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. God, I hated that. I hated it. It was nothing like that and stuff. And I guess when we mixed people and stuff like that, it wasn't the same vibe like they say nowadays.
But we all still were pretty close down there. We stayed together.
And I personally didn't. I didn't like Les Thatcher. I had issues over there.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's what I tell people about that. That I people have told me that before, and I kind of agree with you. I was at first like that because I'm like, you know, it was a hard pill to swallow for us to go back down and doing that shit. You know what I mean? It was just rough, man. It was something none of us wanted to do, but you know what? We all did it. And thinking, you know, something good's going to happen out of it. So we just kept doing it.
Those are my exact words. I couldn't say anything different from that.
Yeah. But I got respect for Les. He's been around the business for a while. Now, do you remember when Paul Orndorff confronted him down at the power plant? Do you remember that?
I think I briefly do.
Now, I'll rehash what happened. So I was actually standing by Paul, and he sees Les. Well, and to give you the backstory, Les did a thing with like the wrestling, like exposing wrestling a little bit, and they did the MTV thing with Rory Fox.
I remember. Yes.
You might have been standing over there with me, and Paul looks at me.
Where else would I be?
Paul's like, it's fucking Les Thatcher. He's like, yeah, he walks over to Les Thatcher and he fucking gets in his face and he's like, you motherfucker, you exposing the inside to beat the fuck out of you. And Les was, you could tell Les was scared. I don't care what anybody says. Les was scared because you don't fuck with Paul. I mean, he'll kick the shit out of you like you did Van Vader. You know what I mean?
I would have loved to seen that shit.
Oh, he would have fucking killed Les Thatcher. I mean, let's be honest. Not that I would have liked to seen it, but he would have hurt him. And so then after that, he walked back over towards me and he goes, fuck. He goes, what do you think, kid? Did I do the right thing? And he didn't even let me answer. He's like, fuck it, I did the right thing. Fuck him. and I was like, God dang. And nobody really said nothing after that, did they?
No, not really. He was funny as hell, dude. Remember, we used to have like spectacular fucking matches. Everyone's like, dude, you guys did so great, and we're so proud of you. Everything. We walk into the door. That sucked. What the fuck? Line up, start hitting this, taking bumps, start fucking squatting. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
the whole
right.
Staff and production and the bookers told him, and then we get here and you say that our match was horrible.
Well, you know what? Because Paul had been off TV for a while, and the business evolved a little bit. He wasn't used to it because he wasn't around it.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul's a great guy.
I love Paul.
But he's let's just say he's probably bipolar. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Because I mean, sometimes he'd be talking to me and you like we're best buddies. He'd walk in his office, come back out and look at you and go, "You want fucking fired? I'll fucking fire you. I'll go right up there. That's a fucking shoot, kid. I'll fire you right now." And you're just sitting there going, what the fuck happened, Paul, between now and 30 seconds ago?
Yeah, he could go. He can have his ups and downs and stuff. I was a little protected though. That's why when they sold out and stuff to WWF, it changed for me. I was kind of protected, even by the front office girls and stuff. Some shit came down. Yeah. We'll talk about. Dude, I was forewarned. I'm like, okay, chill on that, and then boom, dude. I was people were protecting me, covering me, and stuff like that. That's when that came out. I went from like a hero to zero. That's what I felt like from zero to hero to zero.
Shit, that happens, especially in that business, right?
Now I get it.
So let me ask you this: you're we won't say how old you are, but I'll be 50 in July. Do you think you could step in the ring and do a good match right now without being hurt or feeling like you're wear and tear on you, or what do you think?
Oh yeah, I can work one good and sell everything out. We just did some commercials for my business, for my personal business, and I dressed a guy up in a rat in a roach and a raccoon, and we did some sequences, spots in the ring and stuff like that. So I was doing some stuff and everything. I got blown up for a while that I had to take a break. I was like, wait, I'm really running out of breath, even though I always walk with never at that step and everything. So we had to just take a couple breaks and stuff. But I could still do it. I might do one just for the heck of it to expose my company, to do one match as the Commandos.
Yeah, I got you. Well, shoot, we'll have to line that up, and you work the big heel, Angry Allan Funk. Just like old times, right?
Are you going to dress like a roach?
I'm too good looking for that, Sammy.
Oh, my God. Right here.
I'll stand in line behind you, but, you're good looking, but I'm pretty damn good looking, too.
Yeah, you are. You're Bubba.
So I try to tell people the shape that we used to be in. Remember when we first started doing TVs and everybody was like, fuck, I ain't wrestling none of these guys from the power plant, man. They'll blow me up. They everybody was we had that reputation, right?
Yeah, we did and everything, man. But they used to train the shit out of us, man. We used to do some crazy mad sprints out there, man. Just mad sprints.
Yeah, in the heat, in the sun, in Georgia.
And then go in to start taking bumps and everything before we start even wrestling and stuff like that. It was fucking fat. It was killer.
Remember when they got pissed, like Sergeant make us run the gauntlet?
That sucked too. I remember it was Mark Jindrak and then Who was second? Johnny the Bull was second, and I think I was like, and me and he were like
in racing,
second, third, yeah, and like sprints.
Well, Sonny, remember Sonny and Mark had a sprint contest he winning, and Mark gave him like a 10-yard head start, and he still beat him.
Mark beat him, right?
Yeah, he gave him a 10-yard head start and still beat him. Because, they were talking shit, and Sonny's like, I'm faster than you. I played football,
Oh, whatever.
I mean, we did have fun down there, but let me tell you something. People don't understand. I tell them, there were days we did cardio for 8 freaking hours, and I'm not exaggerating.
We did, and like you said, when we had to run that gauntlet, man, that was fucking ridiculous, man. Just hitting those ropes, and then taking those bumps.
Yeah, so explain the gauntlet. We had 4 rings down there.
4 rings. So it wasn't like no 2 rings or 3. It was 4 rings. 4 rings.
So we lined up in a line, right? One guy started out, boom, 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 hit the ropes, and then you had to do you had to jump as high as you could and do a front flip and land on your back. And then you got up, went to the next ring. Then the other guy jumped in behind you, and you just kept doing that until they tell you to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, right?
It was very brutal, man. Especially in the beginning, man. I don't know about you. Remember the beginning when you hit those ropes, man? I thought that shit was gonna be soft and bouncy, and those ropes are gonna be cushiony, man. Man, I felt like somebody beat the hell out of me, man, when I first started hitting those ropes, man. And then my back the next day, oh my goodness.
Kid Romeo, I got a question here for you. And I'm going to put this up here. Since you said you talk about everything, I'm not sure if this is one of your old fans or not. Can you read that? Can you read it?
Yeah, can you tell us about Swinging Richards?
Oh, shit. That's a blast from the past.
I know. I wonder if somebody that worked with me that might have been in the business. So, there were some people that went to work there and stuff that worked there from the power plant. Besides me, there was 2 other. I'm
not going to mention any names. I'm not going to say any MJ
I won't
initials.
mention names on that, but there was 2 other ones that used to always bust my balls for that. And then next thing you know, they fucking low on cash. They're like, "Hey, Romeo, so how much money you make?" Next thing you know, they're like, "Hey." I'm like, motherfucker, you just bust my balls for like months and months, and now you look at you.
So then you helped them get a job there, then, right?
Well, I just said, come here and everything. They hired you,
So one was Jason Sensation, if I ain't mistaken, right?
Hmm.
And the other one, I won't say his name, but his initials are MJ. I think that's his initials. Hey, let me tell you something, man. We joked about that. I mean, shit. The money you guys are making down there, it's kind of hard not to do that when you're struggling. When we first moved down to the power plant, dude, if you didn't have a job, you had to live somehow. You know what I mean? Because we had to be down there every day. You know what I'm saying?
I know it was working security or starving or sleeping in your car. And to me, I was coming from being a dancer and stuff. So I went to all the strip clubs in Atlanta, and everything's nude over there. So what do you do? Dance nude.
You got to do what you got to do. And I mean, you were making good money, man. So
I was making close to $1,000, dude. I fucking gave money for protein powder to a lot of motherfuckers in the plant.
Yeah, no shit, right?
I did. Busting my balls and everything. Hey, man, can you help me get him? I got you.
Yeah. But guess who never asked you for money? Angry Allan Funk.
Nope.
I should have been on the Kid Romeo payroll, all the bumps I took for your ass.
I would have given it to you.
I should have just got a weekly check for the Kid Romeo Take a Bump Foundation. Right?
Right.
So let's talk about. So me and you, Sam, we had. You rather me call you Kid Romeo on here or Sam?
You call me whatever you want, Mr.
So me and Sam were one of the first 2 guys out of the power plant that got on TV, and we wrestled 2 matches that night because it was on a WCW Saturday night. They filmed. If you wrestled 2 matches that night, then you'd be on TV for the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So they let us work 2 matches. You went over the first match, I went over the second match, and then we kind of started a feud from that. So what do you remember from doing those?
Oh man, Jesus Christ, man! I remember coming out, with my outfit all set up, man. I was so pumped to come out and stuff like that. And the thing is, I knew we were gonna have a good match and everything because we knew our shit.
Oh yeah,
we knew our shit, man. You were a really good base for me and stuff like that. So it was for our first match, man. I was happy with the outcome.
Well, if I ain't mistaken, I think Kevin Nash, you kind of worked. You were talking to him, and that's how we got that match, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So I think it was like something like that. Yeah, I'm talking.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I guess I did, but you kind of threw my name out there because you knew we'd have a good match. Is that right?
You know what? Now that you're talking about it, it's really ringing. It's ringing a bell and stuff like that. He's like, who do you want to work, kid?
Yeah, yes. And then he came down to Power Plant. You remember?
Yeah, and I said you because fucking we knew each other's shit, man. Fucking we did independence. We just worked together really well.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. I remember when he come down there. If I never thanked you for that, I appreciate that, man. I got opportunity to work. My first match on TV because of you.
Yeah, man. No, thank you too, man. Never forget it, man.
Well, I wasn't like some of these guys. I wasn't afraid to put people over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, back then, it was good because you used to sell and stuff like that, man. They don't sell anymore.
Yeah. Now, about the same time, you want to talk about good old days, any? You worked good old days with us, right?
Sure, of course, man. The bar.
Yeah. It was. Tell everybody about good old days.
Oh my God, good old days was a little bar.
What's up, Loretta?
Where what's up? Who's that? He's scary looking.
It's one of the dead presidents. They got a podcast on our network. He's always tuning in, man, showing me some love, bro. I appreciate it.
Right on. So yeah, good old days. Where was that? That was in Buckhead. It was in Buckhead?
It was on Roswell Road, right across from American Pie.
Oh yeah, right.
Right off 285, right there. 285 in Roswell.
Well, yeah, it was a little bar and stuff like that, man. That was when we were first doing the show. I remember doing the shows there, man. I was already coming out with the glow sticks, dancing, and the whole works and stuff. I was warming up. I was ready to go.
That was a great place for us to work, and learn stuff and do stuff that we're going to use on TV. It really helped a lot of guys out, I think.
It was a good, fun, independent, lively little crowd. It was just a good atmosphere.
And every week got bigger and bigger. Do you remember some of the crowds we had in there?
Yeah.
And we even had who used to come and watch us, like Raven, Kidman, Glacier, I think Scotty or Sick Boy, or his name's Scotty, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Sick Boy.
We used to have Dil Torber would come watch us. I don't think he ever worked the show there.
Torber?
Yeah.
Heck, the Deacon? No.
Yeah, he was there.
He worked it?
Now, you remember? No, he never worked there. He just come and watch this. He'd be in the crowd with like Donna Seaman and girls like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was a great venue. Do you remember? Okay, so American Pie was across the street.
I used to work with Jason. Remember Jason? I used to work with Jason.
Yeah, Jason Sensation. And then you remember the guys that were the hooligans, the Bryans guys, the two Bryans?
Yeah, I think so. I have a picture with him. Yeah, I know. I think I know.
So the bigger one, Brian, that's who I started driving truck when I got my CDL. And me and him used to drive out to California. I'd known him for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Damn. That's a long ass drive.
Well, I mean, we go out to California. We'd leave Sunday morning and be back by, Friday.
Next Friday, Friday,
5 days.
You want to hear something funny? Remember when we used to go to Tennessee?
Yeah.
We used to go to Tennessee and we'd be taking turns driving back in those mountains, and it was time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever in my van and everything, but I used to drive and I used to fucking go like this, like off the road, like I fell asleep. I would do it like 2-3 times. That would make me get off, pull all over to the side. No, I got it. And they gave me to the back, and I go like this.
Who'd you drive with up there mostly?
I don't know. I don't know who was.
I usually drove with Elix or Mike Sanders.
Mike Sanders, all that. Yeah, for that.
I think we all took turns
with a fat independent dude. What was his name?
Bert Prentice.
Yes. So his shows and stuff like that, we're going at these hours up in these mountains, man. I know I'd be driving up.
Yeah, we do the whole loop. Remember? Well, sometimes we'd have a match on Thursday somewhere up there, like at Cookville or somewhere. Do you remember Friday nights we went to Hopkinsville, Kentucky, in that armory?
Yep, for a while. Yep.
Saturday night we'd wrestle in Nashville, and then sometimes we'd have a show on Sunday. But remember, we were getting paid on our contract per show. You remember that?
You were getting paid by a show?
Yeah,
I just had a contract, not by the show.
Oh, well, I had my contract, but I got a $500 a night, and they were paying me $500 for them shows.
Oh, additionally.
Yeah. So I was making pretty good money, but I thought everybody had that deal.
I don't know, man. I just had a certain amount and stuff, but I know what my amount was.
Yeah. So listen to this. So I had my weekly deal, right?
Mine was I don't know what it was. I know that they found out, a lot of people from the power plant, and I was getting paid more than them.
Yeah.
And you know how it is.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen.
It just went through. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What am I supposed to say? Pay me less or whatever? Did they pay me whatever they were seeing at the moment and stuff?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you know what? That's why you never talk about money, you know?
People found out that I didn't say I'm making this every 2 weeks, because that's what we got paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got paid on the 1st and the 15th in WC.
Mm-hmm.
So do you remember when JJ Dillon come down there and Paul had a list and he's like, what the fuck? Everybody's making this much money. Do you remember that?
Yeah, somewhat.
So on my contract, which I know Sonny and I think Elix and a few other guys, we got paid our weekly, whatever the weekly was. And then I think they started out some guys at a certain amount and other guys made a little more money, depending on what you did or, you know, what they thought you were worth. So then
I got heat. I was making out the good. That's why I got heat.
You're in wrestling. You got heat by just being good looking.
I was a heat seeker. Talking to the girl.
I think that was your nickname. I'm pretty sure that was.
It was the heat seeker.
That's right. So, so when Paul came down there that one day with a list that JJ brought, remember he immediately stopped them. We weren't doing those shows anymore because they didn't want to pay us, and they had to because it was in our contract. If we worked a match, that's a match. Right. You know what I mean? And we're doing local TV for Burt Prentice, whether it's just local in Nashville or whatever. We're still that's a nightly. We're working. So you got to pay us what our contract says, right?
Right.
So, you know, I was making pretty good money. And then when Paul that day, he cut it out and we never did them shows anymore. So, you know, we lost. Sometimes we'd wrestle Thursday. That'd be an extra $500 for me. Friday, an extra $500. Saturday, an extra $500. And you remember a couple of times we did 2 shows, like on a Sunday. Remember we did that outdoor show and then we did another show that night?
Oh my God, that outdoor show! Yeah, wasn't it?
Remember, it was raining in the fucking rain and slippery. We about killed each other because you couldn't.
I have the worst memory and stuff, but when I'm with somebody like you and stuff, we lived it like side by side. So you mentioned a little bit, it goes back.
That mat, I remember, it was a blue fucking mat, and it was like
it was like this. I throw you off the rope, and you go like this.
Yeah, that or you'd fall on your ass. We
were literally running the ropes that slow. I'm like, oh my God, it was like super slow motion.
And we had to dress outside right in the open.
You'd be taking a pinfall like that, and it hurt your eyes because the drops would be dropping, you kicking out and shit. You're like, oh man, selling the rain.
Yeah. And then the night show we did that night, we did a show after that. You remember that?
Oh my God! I remember
Elix kicked me in the fucking throat that night, and I was spitting up blood. I couldn't even swallow.
Damn, dude, you have an issue with power plant guys kicking you.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Anybody else?
Well, Sarge damn closed on me one day and about knocked my damn esophagus off down at the power plant.
Were you bleeding?
No, not that time, but.
Right.
I literally, my voice
unless hey, look, it's Elix and I that made you fucking bleed.
No shit, right?
There you go. First time ever Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions for a reason.
Yeah, I think you guys were in cahoots on that shit. No, Elix got a legitimate excuse for that night, though.
We're the Stiffmeisters.
Well, Elix wasn't too stiff. Me and you, I don't give a shit if you lay shit in. You know how I work.
Yeah, no, do you think I was stiff? I was stiff, right?
Hey, I mean, we all were. We got trained by fucking Buddy Lee Parker. What do you expect? And then we'd go to I mean, a lot of us went to Japan to work. I know Elix did. I don't know if you did or not. Did you?
Who, me? Yeah. Dude, I was the only that I got heat for this too. Believe me or not, because I was the only one that was picked for the Super J Cup.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember I was supposed to go, but I got hurt.
They came to the power plant, and I don't know, and just wound up it was just me that went, and then there was other people that were like upset.
Well, I was actually booked on that card too, but I remember I hurt my knee wrestling Elix.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that vaguely.
Yeah, so I had to get out of that.
When they gave the tickets, it was just me.
Yeah, initially I was booked on it, but I think Kidman and Mysterio was on that too, right?
Oh fuck, man! I you know what? Now that you mentioned something like that, I don't know why they didn't show up and everything.
Because they came to me and told me that I know me and you, and I thought they told me Kidman and Ray was going. And then when I hurt my knee, then Paul said, "You're not going to." He called me now and said, "You're not going to Japan now." And I was so fucking hot. I wanted to go so bad.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a whole different level of stiff over there.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I wrestled over there in All Japan with Elix and Jerry Toot and Mike Awesome. It was awesome though. I loved it.
With first snapmare. It kicked me in the back, dude. I went completely numb from the toes to my hair felt like it was standing up like this.
Like the Kwee-wee.
I laid back down. So you know what I did? Guess what I did?
You get back up and stiff him.
No, I dead ass his ass. He wanted to get up to fucking do it again. I was like, fuck you.
Well, here, you know who Kawada was?
No, then when I got up, dude, I fucking put my shit in, dude. He walked out with a fucking bloody nose.
Yeah,
I dropped
and that's good. They like that shit, man. They want to see if you're going to fight back. Exactly.
They respect you. If you didn't do that, they'll eat you up.
And you'll never go back.
Nope. I was fucking laying in. I was laying in my shit.
They love it, man. They love it.
Hey, did you ever have to wrestle a Japanese that in the ring and call it in the ring that didn't speak English?
Yeah, all the time, bro. It's tough.
Oh my god, I did that with Jushin Thunder Liger, dude. I was fucking scared shitless. He was a legend. He is a legend.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, he's a good.
I try to put a couple of spots. He goes, Romeo, we talk in the ring.
Yeah.
Call it in the ring.
I know you were fucking scared to death, weren't you?
Oh fuck, I was fucking shitting my pants.
Well, you speak Spanish. Usually those guys that speak Spanish can speak. For some reason, it seems like the languages are similar. They get it or something.
Japanese. I mean, when I was there, I would understand and I knew the basics and stuff. To kind of like Yes.
So I got this guy called me Butthead. He said good podcast. So shout out to Gary, even though he called me a butthead.
He must be a Michigan fan.
No, he must be. Somebody said, Low Rider said Elix was awesome.
Oh,
Elix
he was awesome. Man. He was crazy, man. He was super athletic. Super athletic guy.
Did you ever see Elix do that damn backflip off the top of that cage? Or were you in that match?
Yeah, no, in TNA?
TNA. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he did that freaking moonsault off the top of the fucking cage.
Yeah.
Elix always loved doing that shit. That's what, me and Elix were kind of like me and you. We had good matches all the time on TV and stuff because we were together all the time and we trained at the power plant, you know what I mean? And
we used to work the crowd. We used to work the fucking crowd more and everything. Now they don't work the crowd, man. It seems like they just get up after and kicking out of 10 finishes and then the finish they get out of it fucking it's
it's a lot different now. Oh yeah.
It is a lot different.
Okay, so then
I like our era better. I like our era much better.
Yeah. It'll never be like that again, I don't think.
I mean, now you can like so many guys you can watch that at home and like shit. I can be a wrestler too. You know what that? Yeah. They can do a lot of cool tricks and stuff. There's a lot more than tricks, man. You got to ad-lib. You got to work the crowd. You got to be a character. You got to fucking be the shit, man. Not just be able to do tricks. We're not dogs.
So I guess he said he got to work with Elix in North Carolina. Yeah, you can't have a bad match with Elix, bro. It's kind of like me and you. We could have wrestled anybody and had a good match, other than Norman Smiley with me. love Norman Smiley to death, dude, but I wrestled him 3 times, and they were just shitty matches. I just couldn't. We couldn't tell.
It's very limited. It's you got to work his gimmick. You have to.
He's got that weird European style.
Make it funny. You got to work his shit and make it funny.
Yeah, we just never gelled, man. I mean, they weren't horrible matches, but they could have been, way better.
Yeah, but there's no serious match there.
No, especially with the 2 freaking characters,
Yeah, when you wrestled them, you were
It's KweeWee. We were overseas. The first time wrestling was in England on the WCW Worldwide.
Well, he was baby face then, and you were heel, weren't you? KweeWee was heel.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of. I mean, I was a baby face. I mean, I was a heel and a baby face. I mean, but you're whatever the crowd
depends.
You are. Well, he's from over there, so he was kind of the baby face. But the match,
I like being a heel better. What about you? Honestly, my whole career,
dude, the heel's way more funner.
Way more fun. No rules to follow. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, you're a good baby face. You're a better baby face than I ever was.
No, I didn't like it that much, man.
No, but you were good at it, though, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I like shaking hands and all that kind of stuff, and the kids and all that stuff. All the work we did at hospitals with kids and all that stuff. I miss that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's the stuff that I really, 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 really miss now.
Oh, yeah. That was great stuff, man, doing stuff like that.
I try to stay involved in the community and stuff like that, as an ex wrestler and stuff, being out of the limelight for a little bit. They didn't have all this stuff back when we were there. Imagine when we were there and everything.
Oh, I know. Dude, if we had Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and we'd have our phone with us 24/7, do you imagine what we could have done with that?
No, man, that's the only thing that makes me mad about technology. That wasn't like that we couldn't record just on the limb and everything. We never thought that was going to come to a short end and stuff, Dude,
we just missed it. We just
fucking missed the cut, man. But it was all a little bit on the timing part, and then no technology to this. Right now, every post we did, we have hits on it, of course.
Oh, because they leave, even just like all them other guys
with the follow.
Yep, just those guys
now
being
I'm trying
on TV.
to work. Now we're like everything that's old comes back in fashion.
Yeah.
We're like in because now we're vintage. We're vintage.
That's
we're
right.
at the 20 years. 20 years is vintage. We're vintage. Yep. We're hot. We're back in. We're like a lot of people. We owe you guys, man. Really, we really appreciate what you did and stuff like that. So that's why I'm coming out now.
All right, so you know what? we need to get a hold of. We need to get a hold of Chris Jericho so we can get a match, Kid Romeo versus Angry Allan Funk on AEW.
Oh shit, man! I could work. I'll do that. Get that done. I'll do it.
Fuck yeah!
I'm in shape. I'm ready. Fuck, I'll pump it up. Ready to go. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll get back on the gas and I'll be Angry Allan again. Fuck it.
No big bumps. I'll sell the hell out of it. No big back bumps.
Okay, so if people want to follow you on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, what do they got to look you up, Sammy?
In Facebook, Instagram, it's Kid Romeo -WCW. Imagine that.
And then you also got one for Commando Pest Control, right?
Yes.
Oh, he just put it up there on the screen there.
It's CommandoPestControl.com.
I got you. You see, he just put that up on the screen there.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you can follow me. You see some wrestling stuff in there occasionally and stuff, and you see a lot of cool vintage stuff that I did. And
plus, they can watch you catch snakes and
drag dead alligators out of lakes. And
until you jump in a lake and grab a real alligator, I'm not impressed, Sammy.
They don't pay you, man. I'm not doing it. Seriously, that's handled by the state, man. If they don't pay, I don't want no part of it.
Yeah, right. Oh, so if you do a state job, they won't pay you?
A what? Snake? Everything, yeah. Gators, no. Oh. Gators, everything you get paid and stuff. Those are nuisance animals. The gators is handled by the state, Florida Wildlife Conservation. So they come and they take it and they got to sell the meat and the hide and stuff to make money. I ain't got time for all that shit. They do that. They do that because they like to.
Yeah, right.
Usually on the redneck side.
Plus, that's dangerous as shit.
I'm not trying to be racial or anything.
Oh man, I'm gonna lose viewers now just because of that.
You know, everybody's so sensitive about stuff, so just making sure.
Oh, I know. Hey, let's talk about the day. I'm pretty sure the day we got released in WWE up at Les Thatcher School. Did you get released the same time like me and Elix and everybody else did?
I think it was like the second round.
You remember that day? That day fucking sucked.
No,
they kept all the Memphis guys. I mean, that just goes to show you, man. It was
politics.
Here's my take on the whole shit. Us going up there. So remember, we used to do everything up there and work all these guys at Les Thatcher School. And then Sundays we went down to Louisville and worked. Like John Cena was down there, Randy Orton, Batista. Remember all those guys down there?
Oh yeah.
And then we got to work a lot of those guys.
Yeah, they would blow up and stuff doing our drills and stuff.
Yeah, so then after we went down there and did all these matches with these guys and trained for however long we trained up there in Cincinnati, then they just pulled the plug on us, man. They just said, fuck, all the guys they fired were from WCW. Remember that?
Yep.
They didn't fire anybody from the Memphis, nobody from Louisville. It was all WCW guys.
I do, and I try to forget about it.
Yeah, no shit. Right? Do you remember at Christmas time when they had a list up down in Louisville?
Very dreadful.
Do you remember the list I'm talking about? The list.
I think it was coming, and then 9/11 happened, and they postponed it a little bit.
Oh, it might have been. I don't know, but I'm talking around Christmas time, which is the same. We got released 2 weeks before Christmas, at least the first round. Do you remember down in Louisville they had a list of like flights back home for Christmas?
The flights, no.
Okay, so if you don't remember, there was a list hanging up in Louisville locker room that said John Cena, you're flying whatever, Randy Orton flying whatever, Batista, all the guys that were down there. So I asked Les, and then I asked, I think it was Danny Davis. I said, hey, where's all the WCW flights? We don't get flights to go back home. And they're like, nah, you got to figure it out. You got to drive home or do whatever. We're not giving you guys flights. You don't remember that?
Oh my gosh.
So they treated us like shit from the get-go, and then they didn't even try to hide it, you know?
I know, and that's why I was like, that's not one of my favorite person in the world.
Yeah. Well, he was just
him and Terry Taylor are like this, running they're neck and neck.
Yeah.
That's my favorite people in the business. My personal experiences.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, like Terry Taylor and them, those guys were just in that spot. They happened to be that guy. So it probably would have been any guy that was in their spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's the way it is. But, and then the day we got released, Johnny Ace told me, I don't know if he told the rest of the guys, but he told me he's going to help me get to Puerto Rico and help me still work in the business and this and that. Never took one of my fucking calls.
I heard that too.
Yeah, never took one of my calls. Did you ever try to call him?
Yeah, nothing back. I used to ride with him on first class coming back from Japan and stuff.
Yeah,
Japan.
Yeah,
talking with him and everything before he came aboard WCW.
Yeah, Johnny Ace, he was a big Japan guy. Now I could tell you what I heard about him over there. That he was, and I used to go over there with All Japan Wrestling, which Kazuhashi, Muda, and all those guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard through the grapevine that Johnny Ace used to screw the Giant Baba's wife. That's how he always was in that company deep. Which would explain.
I've never heard that, but that's interesting.
But all the guys that are snakes in the grass in the business, that's why a lot of them still have jobs, and that's why I don't.
If what you got?
You're freezing up there, kid. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, I didn't hear a word you said. Can you repeat that? You froze up.
I don't know where I left off.
We were talking about Johnny Ace, and you started saying something.
Oh, Johnny Ace and Terry Taylor. They're right there.
Oh, I got you. So one of my listeners, Annette, said she just started following you on Instagram. So see, I got you a follower.
All right, sweet. Is she from Florida?
No, I think she's in Australia, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Annette, you from Australia? I believe she is. So
I missed that trip down to Australia and shit due to politics when Hoovie got.
Oh my God, you missed it! I was right there. I was front.
He was naked in the lobby, and I missed that shit.
Yeah, she's in Australia. Yeah, I had front row seats to that dude. I kept telling like Fit Finley was out there, and everybody. I'm like, we're a bunch of big guys. Why don't we just go out there and grab the son of a bitch and take him up to his room?
Yeah,
everybody's like, nah, we're not doing that. We can't do that. He's tripping on drugs or whatever. I said, listen, don't tell me 4 or 5 of us can't go down there and freaking like tackle him and something and get him up to his room so he don't get arrested. And nobody would listen. Everybody's like, nah, we're not going to fuck with it. So I'm like, well, fuck it. And then next thing you know, man, the cops come, dude. It was funny as shit. From what I remember,
hog tie a little battling Mexican dude.
Oh, dude, no, but he got his shit in. Let me tell you.
I know he was on PCP from what I hear. That shit makes you stronger than a horse.
Dude, when the cops came up to him, from what I remember, a woman had a can of mace or whatever, pepper spray or whatever she was using. Guy grabbed me from behind. Hoovie freaking flipped him up. The woman started spraying mace right in the cop's eye. Oh, so Hoovie he was a ball of fire, dude. Nobody could, like he had Vaseline on. No one could even grab the son of a bitch. He was going ape shit.
Yep.
And it was crazy. And then after they got control of him, they might have tased him. I can't remember a taser, but I think somebody said he got tased. So she's from Australia, Victoria.
Yeah, I see
Australia.
that. What's up? So
then after they got a hold of him, they pretty much freaking hog-tied his ass. I remember they threw him in the back of a police wagon. It almost looked like a dog catcher's wagon. Like you used
we heard about it back in the States immediately. We heard about it.
Dude, if I would have had a cell phone then, this shit would have been priceless, bro.
I know that sucks that in our time we didn't have the accessibility of phones like that.
Yeah, that's right. Snakes always find a way to stay around in the wrestling business.
Oh shit, that is so true, man. I look at these, I'm like, these are fucking like backstabbing lines, and they weren't even that great in the ring and everything, but they're still around being agents and booking, and they weren't good in the ring.
Yeah, well,
just so.
You know how I am happy for he's still up there is Jamie Noble.
Yeah, I'm good for him, man.
That kid worked his ass off. He did a lot of indies before he even came to the power plant. Got treated like shit.
No animosity there. He deserves what he got. Remember what Paul told us? I don't know. Paul had one meeting one time with all of us.
Yeah.
And he told Jamie, he goes, "You not gonna make it."
Well, he told everybody that except Danny Fakir.
And he got to work WWE. He had angles in WWE, and now he's a booker. He's got a permanent job.
Yeah, he's like an agent, man. He was actually, from what I understand, almost took Jim Ross's job over. Like he's in charge of talent.
He lives, loves, breathes wrestling.
I mean, it couldn't happen to a better guy though for that atmosphere because that's all that kid wants to do.
He deserves it.
Oh yeah, he does.
He earned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with you. So it's good to see somebody that you actually came up in the business with a little bit. Still having some success.
Isn't Billy still up there? Or was?
Yeah. As far as I know, he is. Yeah. I don't know if he was in. I don't think he's in a training center. I think he might have been a little bit, but I think he's like an agent too.
Agent on the road, yeah, that's what I figured.
Because the last time I did a show, or I went to a show down here in Atlanta at the Phillips Arena, and he was there. So but that's been a couple years ago. But he was still there. So, but so is there anything you want to talk about specifically about your wrestling career? Or anything you want to tell everybody?
What do you want to know? Tell me. Oh.
Well, I mean, just is there anything you want to let people know about, anything? Because, a lot of people, they think that people misunderstood them a lot. Do you think you had a fair wrestling career? You weren't like nobody said anything out of the way or made you?
I think I had a fair career. I think I could have had a better career if maybe I would have been going about things in a different kind of way and stuff like that. But you never know that you're gonna get that heat for doing that stuff until you did it. Then once you did it, that stigma kind of stays with you and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard for you to get to that level that you need to, because you have that stigma following you. Though even though it's as silly as it can be, we're grown men and we're followed by some stigma like that, from in the past or decisions you've done and stuff like that, because you're not like them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the wrestling business, people don't know this. You could literally get heat for the dumbest shit, right? Am I correct on this?
I mean, you know why I got suspended? I got suspended because I was caught coming in 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. We were supposed to be there, and then the girl followed me. Like 2 minutes later, walked in the girl. It was a girl. She was a diva. She never made it on TV, but there was agents, including we just talked about, that liked her and stuff. And when they saw all that shit, that's when they called me in the office, said, "Look, you're suspended." And immediately I called Jimmy. I'm like, "Jimmy, they just this and that." He goes, "Hang on, baby, hang on." Then he went and talked and everything, and just hang out for a minute, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. And that's when I had the hiatus, and then that's when I hit the gym real good. And when I came back, at that point, that's when there were for the straps, for the tag team straps. Mm-hmm. And what I hear was supposed to be Kidman and Billy, and Ray with belts. But when they saw that I was all jacked up,
they're like, "You're not a cruiserweight anymore, kid. You're all gassed to the gills." Yes,
something like that. Something like that and stuff. And they switched it and they put it on me and Elix.
Yeah. Well, shit. I could hear saying it. What kind of dog you got?
Say hi to the wrestling fans. This is Chico.
That dog sounded like a walrus a little bit ago.
He's my Mexican high flyer right here.
Jeez. You need to put a mask on him.
Oh my God, no, you're prettier than him.
Shit. So, maybe you could tell us a funny story that happened to you in WCW. Maybe like the Sarge story you were talking about earlier.
Wait, what? Run it one more time. You froze up on me.
Oh, I said maybe you could tell a funny story about, for example, the Sarge story you were telling me.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, Sarge, if you're watching, it's okay, man. We love you. Everything, it's all good. You never went to jail, so you're good.
Shit, he gonna stiff you now.
We're good. We're gonna go. We were going to the EA Sports to make the video games. I know it was me, Mike Sanders, Mona was there.
Oh yeah.
Sarge was there. Elix was there. That's as far as I can tell. And I know we were going to Vancouver to do it. Mm-hmm. And in Vancouver, the smoke you can get on the streets is actually legal. And I did kind of inform Sarge about that, and he goes, "Oh, well, I don't know, you might not be able to get it. I was like, all right, Sarge, I'll get it, but I'm not gonna carry that." He's like, I got it. So he grabs that and he puts it down his and then when we get off the plane and we walk, we're like, "Sarge, they got dogs, dude. They had dogs going up and down the lines of people ready to go out."
Shit.
He's like this, looking for a garbage can. There's not they don't have garbage cans there.
If I know Sarge, he probably had spit in his mouth going, "Bye, bye, bye."
They know. They have cameras. They have nowhere that you can discard stuff like that, dude. He fucking went and he stood. We all stood like that. And when the dog came and sat next to him, we all went like this. We're like, well, we're not with him. So
at least you didn't get in trouble, though, right?
We all went through customs, and then we're all sitting there for about an hour and a half, and all we could laugh was because this is what we were thinking.
He's got a lot of visual.
Imagine. Sorry, Sarge. That's what we were thinking and stuff. I know it's not spread eagle like that, naked, up in the. Okay, cough.
Push it out. Push them hemorrhoids out.
And then he came out and we're like, "How was it?" "Oh, they didn't do anything." I'm like, "Bullshit, man. They fucking strip search his ass eagle." And then they told him, like, "Why you even bring this when you can get this on the street? Even better stuff than I got him."
God dang. He just
that is funny. That was
I got you. Well, listen, Sam, this we got about an hour in here. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Anything you want to tell any of the fans that are watching?
No, man, I just want to thank all my fans that after all these years still remember me and everything. And I really appreciate and love you guys, man. I love you, bro. I'll never forget about you. My first match in the pro wrestling event. So that was part of history for me. I'm glad that I was able to make some kind of a history in the business.
Oh, yeah. First cruiserweight tag team champion.
You heard it right there.
That's right,
it could have gone a little further and everything, but it is what it is and stuff. And I wouldn't take a moment back. And, I'm just glad that I was able to meet all the people that I was able to meet and work with all those people. And now that we're retro, we are cool. We're back in.
Oh, yeah, man. We did some cool stuff, man. Nobody can take away from us.
I am back and everything. So once again, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Kid Romeo -WCW, or you can follow me at commandopestcontrol.com, and you can see all the animals that I'm wrestling nowadays. Drop elbows and drop occasional boots on them and stuff like that if need to. So it's pretty interesting to check it out and everything. So, check it out.
So when you get that commercial ready for TV down there, and it's Orlando, right? You're in?
Yes, we're in Orlando.
Yeah, post that on your Instagram and stuff so we can check that commercial out.
Oh yeah. I'll send you some stuff and everything. I got a preview and stuff. I'll let you check it out, but you can't post that until the thing is.
I won't do it till you do it. But thanks for coming on my show, Sam. I hope you enjoyed yourself, man. I had fun talking.
Hey, where did Above Sanders Jr. go?
Oh, he'll pop back in. There he is.
Oh, okay, there he goes.
Hey,
I never saw him. He never said a question. He never answered a question.
He's backstage watching us, though, just in case if we had any problems, he'll help us out.
Oh, okay. You got no questions back there?
Not today. I'm tired, man.
All right.
Hey, Sam,
we can shoot the shit for another hour easy because
no kidding, right?
We literally grew up in the business. So
that's right.
There you go. So
1998, baby. That's when I first met you. That's when we had our first match.
98, I thought it was 99.
Well, wait a minute, 80 or 98, and then we had September and
the 98.
I don't know, man. I think it was September 98 when we had our first match. I know it was September.
Wow.
Or wait, you know what? It was 99, September 99.
Our match on TV, yes.
Yeah, you're right. It was. I know it was September. Yeah, because I moved down here October of 98.
Those were independent days.
Yeah. So. All right, Sam. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Hey, don't go anywhere yet. Preston's gonna pop my video on there, and then I'll talk to you afterwards.
All right, my friend.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, everybody. Love you all.
Kid Romeo, baby.